G'day, and welcome to Pints with Aquinas. My name is Matt Fradd. If this is the first time you've ever showed up on this channel, stick around. You might enjoy it. Now, as the title and thumbnail suggest, we're going to talk about Billie Eilish and what she had to say recently about her own porn use. And one of the cool things about being a dad is I don't really know who Billie Eilish is, and I'm proud of that fact. I don't think I've ever heard one of her songs. In fact, in just saying the word songs, I became afraid that maybe she wasn't a musician. I'm pretty sure she is. I know that much. But it's great, man. Becoming a dad, having kids. You stop listening to stuff that the world keeps pushing on you, and you start listening to other things. It's all right. It's good. But listen, I have been, writing and speaking on the topic of pornography for years. That book you can see right there. Wrong way. Right there is my book, The Porn Myth. It is a non-religious response to pro-porn arguments. I wrote it a few years back. I did more reading about the negative effects of pornography. What different neurological studies had to say, and sociological studies had to say, and psychological studies had to say, than you will probably ever want to read in your life. So I would suggest this book, and I'm not suggesting it for money because I don't make any money from this book. 100% of the royalties go to help sexually trafficked victims in San Diego. There's a group out there called Children of the Immaculate Heart. But I just wanted to point to that book from the start because this is a very important thing to be discussing. All right, so let's have a look at what she said. Now, I'm going to be reading this article from Your Brain on Porn, which was a website created by a mate of mine named Gary Wilson. Really, really terrific fellow, and he's since passed away. But him and I did some work together in this area on helping people understand the negative effects of pornography, and I had a great deal of affection for him. So I want to look at what Billie Eilish had to say and offer some commentary on it. She said, and I guess she was on with Howard Stern. What's interesting is, when I was doing research for my book, one of the big quotes I dropped was from former porn performer now, Jenna Jameson. She was actually on Howard Stern's show, and Stern asked her and surprised her with the question, were you ever sexually abused or molested as a kid? And in her best-selling book, which I positively don't recommend that you read, I think it was called How to Make Love Like a Porn Star or something like that, she said, I lied like a rug to Howard. She said, I didn't want anyone to know that I got into the industry because I was a victim. And then she talked about being sexually abused in high school, gang raped, left for dead. When you hear what people in the industry have to say, if you even care about what they have to say, I think most of us just don't care about them really at all. But if you listen to their stories, especially once they've left the industry and they're no longer trying to sell something, they don't have a contract to uphold, what you find is the stories of porn performers are drearily predictable. They almost always involve some serious form of abuse or neglect when the girl was young, her unsuccessfully processing the trauma brought on by those things. And then one of two things happen. She's either preyed upon directly by the sex industry, or she feels she has no other choice. And if you feel you have no other choice, in what sense are you using the word choice? What is it that you mean by that? So anyway, she's on Howard's show. She's 19 years old, Grammy-winning singer. Good, okay, so I got that right. She spoke up about being exposed to porn at the age of 11. By the way, that's about the average age. 11 or 12, because parents are too stupid to withhold technology from their children. And that might be you. You might be the stupid one I'm talking about. You give your child a phone, you give your child access to the internet, and you say something like, well, yeah, my kids won't go to that stuff. I mean, what the hell are you thinking? I think I'm starting to see this change. But honestly, part of the frustration of reading articles like this is I've been speaking about this for 10 years, 15 years now, and I keep getting written off, and you probably get rid off as some religious zealot who's a prude and frigid and uptight. So anyway, even though this is a little frustrating that now people pay attention when Billie Eilish says it, at least people are paying attention to it. She said, I used to watch a lot of porn, to be honest. I started watching when I was 11. I think it really destroyed my brain. Yeah. She says, and I feel incredibly devastated that I was exposed to so much porn. As of today, we have 57 neuroscience-based studies on porn users. 57. 56 out of those 57 lend strong support for the addiction model. They show how porn messes up the brain. And when I say it lends strong support for the addiction model, what I mean is those studies mirror the neurological findings in other studies that have to do with substance abuse addiction. People used to say things like porn's not addictive because you're not injecting it, you're not inhaling it or something like that. It's a thing, it's very different. We now know that's not true. We know that behaviors can be just as addictive as substances can, which is why the DSM-5 has pathological gambling, right? Something is recognized under, you might say, natural addictions. So porn, when she says it feels like it destroys her brain, there's actually really good scientific evidence to think that yes, that is what happened. Yes, that is what happened. By the way, I'm going to give you 2 solid resources at the end of this video. If you're a man or a woman who struggles with porn, or maybe you don't struggle, maybe you've just been given in and you're starting to wake up to the fact that this is hurting you and those around you, I'm going to give you a couple of resources that are going to help you. I got to a point where I couldn't watch anything else. Unless it was violent, I didn't think it was attractive. Okay, so what happens is, given how the dopamine system works in our brain, when we view with any sort of regularity what you might call vanilla pornography, the brain ceases to feel dopamine's effects as it once did. And the porn user now feels the need to seek out more shocking, in her case, more violent forms of pornography, just to boost the dopamine levels up enough to get the same rush as perhaps when you saw pornography. I'll give you an analogy that was shared with me by Dr. Don Hilton, who's a neurosurgeon in Texas. When you reset a thermostat in your home, what happens? The whole system has to work a whole lot harder to create a new normal. When we view pornography, it's like the pleasure thermostat in our brain is being reset. And now we have to view a lot more pornography, a lot more shocking forms of pornography just to feel even, right? So this is this idea of escalation is something that results from that, and that's what she experienced. It led to problems, says Billie. The first few times I, had sex, and by the way, I'm going to try to be careful here with the language that's in front of me, but hopefully, given the thumbnail and the title, you're not allowing your child to watch this until you've watched it yourself. But she says, the first time I, had sex, I was not saying no to things that were not good. It's because I thought that that's what I was supposed to be attracted to, right? So this violent, you might even say misogynistic, degrading pornography. I used to be the person that would talk about porn all the time. I'd be like, oh, it's so stupid that anyone would think that porn is bad or effed up, I think it's so cool and it's great and empowering. I was an advocate and I thought that I was one of the guys and would, talk about it and think it was really cool I was really cool for not having a problem with it and not seeing why it was bad. Bless you, Billie. Like, you are a victim of this pornified society in which you were raised. Like I was raised. I was exposed to porn at the age of 8, and I said the same bullcrap that you said. I said the same worn-out mantras that the porn industry would have us believe. That porn is healthy, that it's empowering, that, anything in moderation. The fact is, the science doesn't back this up, and my book, The Porn Myth, breaks that open. So I would encourage you to do 3 things right now. First of all, if you have the money, go get my book. At the very least, it'll make a very awkward Christmas present. You just give it to someone and say, you look like you need this. That's fantastic. Again, I'm not telling you about this book to get money. I don't make money. 100% of the royalties go to help sex traffic victims in San Diego. The group there is called Children of the Immaculate Heart, who bring in women and I think sometimes younger boys who have been sexually trafficked. So the book, You can get the paperback. It's also on Audible if you want to listen to some English fellow read it to you. I don't know why you would. I'm just jealous because they didn't want me to read it. So that's one resource I want you to check out. Here's the second resource. So, I mean, for the longest time, people were saying that women don't struggle with pornography. And whenever I go and speak to high school students, I would say almost every time I'm met by a young woman who says to me, "Thank you for not pretending that this was like a girl's, not a girl's issue. Only guys struggle with it." So if you're a lady who struggles, I have a link below. It's called Magdala Ministries. Magdala Ministries. Click that link and you can join a group of women who will support you in overcoming pornography. I know the lady who runs it. I've had her on the show. She's delightful. She herself used to watch pornography. She understands how bad it is, and it's you can be confidential and all that. So go check that out. If you're a bloke who struggles with pornography, I mean, I would recommend checking this out. So this is a course that I created called strive21.com. strive21.com. It is a 21-day detox from porn course that I created, and every day you get like a 5-minute clip from me, and I kind of walk you through how to be free of pornography. There are some really specific things that you need to do that if you don't do, you will absolutely fail. This course will help you. Now, this course is free. I don't make a cent from this course. I don't want you to pay for this course. You can be as anonymous as you want, and just go sign up right now. We have over 46,000 men who have gone through it or who are going through it. So if you're a fellow, as we say in Australia, if you're a guy, translating on the fly here, who struggles with pornography, masturbation, fornication, sexual sin in any way, go to strive21.com. Those 3 links are in the description below for my book, boom, for Strive, the 21-day detox from porn course, and then also Magdala Ministries if you're a lady who struggles with porn. This is a really serious issue, and that's why I want to talk about it. In fact, let me kind of break some big news to you right now. I didn't plan on doing this, but you seem like a nice group of people, so I'm going to tell you. I'm about to, within the coming months, start an entirely new podcast. I'm going to build an entirely new studio, and it's going to be devoted to tackling the topic of pornography. And we are going to have the most knowledgeable guests in the realms of psychology and neurology and these sorts of things who are going to help you. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to this being a top-notch thing. So I'll let you know more about that, but just want to kind of give you a heads up in the next couple of days. Next couple of months. We're going to be launching it. God bless you. Thank you. And may God bless Billie Eilish. And I pray that what she is saying will begin to wake up a generation of folks who've been buying into the lies that Pornhub and company would have you believe.